Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is another installment in the tarot deck review series that I have been doing. I hope you have been watching the previous deck reviews that I've been putting out, and I hope you've been enjoying them. So today I'm going to be doing the Steampunk Tarot by Babara Moore, a deck by Babara Moore and Ali Fell. And this particular deck is being published by Llewellyn. Now, I'm going to be putting it in the description box, and I'll be putting in links to Amazon and eBay where you can buy the deck. It's not a very expensive deck, and if you click on the links that I put in over there, you can get to see the decks. Like I said, this is a really good time to be buying decks. At the beginning of the year, they tend to put things on sale at these sites, and this is a really good time to be getting a hold of decks if you're looking to buy a new deck. And this is a really beautiful deck to get. Because it's got a little bit of a modern twist on it, so it's not sitting in that old traditional way of doing things. It's got some beautiful colorings. It looks very modern and very elegant, and you'll enjoy using it as well. So this is the reason why I've decided to review the deck as well. This particular deck is based on the Rider-Waite system. And although it's got a lot of, it looks a little different from the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it actually has got a lot of elements of Rider-Waite, so it's not going to be very, very difficult for you to adapt to using it. Now, it comes in this really beautiful box, and that I think is very important. I love boxes, and this ticks all the boxes for me. So, it stores, it's really good for storage, because I find that, if you have them in just the single box itself or the small little card box, it tends to break or the cards fall out, and, it just gets a bit messy, and I'm not really keen on that. But this box is really, really good. It's very, very sturdy. It's black, and it's got pictures of the Steampunk Tarot on it. It's got a lot of information about the Steampunk Tarot on it. And it's got this nice little magnetic closure thing going on. And that just means that the cards are really secure. Even if you turn it upside down, it's not going to fall out, which I really like. So here you've got the inside of the box. It's got these little cogwheels on it. And you've got the book sitting really comfortably within the box. And underneath the book, the cards sit in its own little alcove. It's got a little ribbon that allows you to pick the cards out of the box itself. Now, you can put this into a little bag and store it within that as well. So that will just keep all your cards together. And it is important to keep the cards stored well. I feel that the cards do have their own feelings, and it's not just dead cards. These cards have got energy in it, so they're very living. And once you start touching them, you start putting a bit of your energy into it. So it's important for you to respect the cards, and it's also important for you to look after them well. They last you forever if you look after them well. You don't need to keep going and buying decks to replace if you look after your deck pretty well. So that's what I think. So when you're actually using your cards, make sure that you wash your hands, you have it on a clean surface. You thank the cards when you begin, and you thank the cards at the end. And I think that is a really important thing to do, because you want these cards to work for you. You want them to read energies for you. So that is important. So enough of that. So like I said, it sits really, really well. The box is really nice and sturdy, and a good storage system. So we'll look at the cards just now. This is the book. So it's a 312-page book, and it's been done by Babara Moore. And she is really a very renowned tarotist. She's produced a lot of decks, and her writing is really exceptional. She makes it very simple to read. There's nothing high-flying about what she's got to say, but she gives you such insight, and I really enjoy using her decks, and I like reading whatever she's written. So it's a soft cover book itself. It's got a nice picture of the Nine of Pentacles to start off with, and it's done, all the pictures in the book are the size, so you can see that picture really clearly, and you can see all the details within the picture. It starts off with this, this is the Nine of Cups, really, and, it starts off with this nice little picture introduction. You've got a picture of Babara Moore right there in the front, and you've got a picture of Ali Fell as well, the artist that has done the deck. And it's got a table of contents over here. So you've got the introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, which deals with major arcana. Chapter 1 is the introduction to the tarot. And then you've got the minor arcana in chapter 3, court cards of chapter 4, spreads in chapter 5, and a little farewell in chapter 6. It gives you a little bit of an introduction, and she tells you about why she's done the deck itself. And then you go into your tarot basics, which tells you a lot about the deck. And it tells you about how to read the cards themselves, the anatomy of reading the cards. Then she's done a little section, about how to ask questions within the tarot, and also about what the numbers mean. So whatever the numbers of the cards mean is very, very important. Then she's in chapter 2 addressed to the major arcana. So it starts off with the name, the Fool, gives you a little core meaning, and then gives you a nice little synopsis about what's going on within the actual card itself. For the major arcanas, she's done a reading tip as well at the bottom. So she's done all of that. There's a nice, like I said, there's a really lovely big picture of the card within the description of the card. So you can see all the little details of the card. And, it's in black and white though, not in color, but all the details are there, beautifully done. So that's addressing the major arcana, and then she goes into the minor arcana, does ace to 10 in that section, in sections really, and then she goes into the court cards. Now these are done slightly differently. You've got the pages over there, so she's grouped the pages of the cards together, and so you can see each and every page and what the core meaning is, and then the interpretation of the card. And then she's done the knights in the same way, and you've got the queens, going through that, where you've got the picture of the queen as well as whatever the queens mean together, and then the kings. So she's grouped all the kings together, the queens together, the pages together, knights together, and she's done interpretation of it. Then in the end, she does a section on the spreads, and how you can actually go through the different spreads. She's given some sample readings as well, and then a final farewell. So quite a extensive book. This is not a book that you can put into your pocket or into your bag, I would think, unless you have a really big bag. But it's something that you can sit down and read. Maybe just before you go to sleep at night, something to get you going, to think about while you're dreaming at night. So really easy to read, and she has got, I love the way she writes. It's very, very inspiring, but also, it catches your attention, and you can read through it, and you get a lot of insight into how the cards actually are reading, and how to read the cards from whatever she's got to say. So very, very well written, and I did enjoy reading the book as well. So the cards themselves, they're a standard size card, and they come with this sort of brown and gold background on the back of the cards. They're not reversible, so this deck is not a reversible deck, and she has not put in reverse meanings either. I don't read reverse meanings. I don't see the point of it, really, because you do have other cards in the tarot deck that will give you reverse meanings without you having to reverse the cards themselves. That's what I feel. And it seems like maybe she feels the same way as well. So this deck has not been written with reverse meanings. But, I mean, if you wanted to, you could reverse the cards if that's the way you do like doing readings. Each man to himself, or each woman to herself. So whatever your preference is. Personally, I don't. Like I said, it's got that brown little with cogwheels. There's a star and sword. It's got the elements on the back of the card here. And the card face itself, it's not a very shiny deck. It's got a lot of, quite a matte feeling to it. It's got a black border on it. The major arcana cards have got the name of the card. Let's just go through it. The major arcana cards have got the name of the card at the bottom. It's got a Roman numeral there, if you can see. And there you've got the Fool written over there, and a little black border with a picture on it. Now you would have seen the bigger picture of it in the book. So if you look at it in color, you can pick up these elements very clearly without being, distracted by color. but you know, that makes it much more easy to read the card. So this is the Fool. Let's just go through it. This is the Fool. Oh, there's just one thing I wanted to say. The cardstock is not the best of cardstocks. It's a bit on the thin side, so be cautious when you're doing shuffling. You know, you don't want to be too enthusiastic when you're shuffling these cards. Just be very cautious. But I mean, you know, it's adequate, but it's not the most robust. Let me put it that way. But the pictures and the artwork is so beautiful. I'm really willing to compromise on cardstock for that. So you've got the Fool here, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, the Temperance, the Devil. See, this is a really lovely devil card. You really can't really see the devil there in it, but you know, you can see people are being held hostage by technology, really, and that is the devil in our world today. The Tower, the Sun, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. Now you can see it's still got the elements of the Rider-Waite in it. However, there are deviations to it, and not too far away from the topic, but you know, you can see Temperance looks like Temperance, but it's just got a modern sort of interpretation, which I really love about it. So, you know, you are reading Rider-Waite, but, you know, and you've got all these other elements going through it as well. It's sort of like a Mary Poppins meets science fiction deck kind of thing going on, and that makes it really beautiful. So this is the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands. Let's just take it out. So this is the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. The Knights are women, which is really a deviation, is really nice. And the Pages are little, well, they're women as well. The Queen of Wands, and that is the King of Wands. And then this is the Cups suit. So this is the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. And this is the Pentacle suit. It's the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. So you can see it's very Victorian based, and it hasn't got all the you know, horses and things going through it. It's got a lot of mechanical things going through it rather than that traditional looking cards. So this is the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. So I feel that because it's so modern, well, it's got that modern twist to it, it's so much more easy to relate to the deck, you know, rather than having to see a lot of traditional pictures in it. And for that reason, you can really get a lot of interpretation from the cards, because it's, you know, it's easy to relate to, you know, some of the pictures in it. You know, some of the scenarios. This is the Five of Cups, and you can see this person is very depressed. They're sitting at the bar and drinking, and you can see all these cups are spilt, you know, and you can see this person is going through a phase of really great depression, that they're drowning themselves in alcohol. So, you know, I feel that it's beautifully done. The artwork is exceptional, I think, and it will allow you to make, you know, to do quite sophisticated readings by just looking at the pictures and reading through the decks. And it's got that modern science twist as well to it. So it's really ticking a lot of boxes for me, and I love it. I will be doing a reading with it soon, and you know, I just thought I'd present it to you. I haven't done one on my channel just yet, but I will do one with this card deck, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy using it. It's a beautiful deck, and I've enjoyed looking through the book. I always recommend that you don't throw the books away. You do use the books, and use them and keep them as a source of you know, where you can refer to a reference source as you're using cards. And you can, you know, cross use books. You don't have to use that particular book for that particular deck. You can use the meanings for this from this book in any deck, and use it across the board. So if you're buying numerous decks or different decks, and you know, you don't need to necessarily go and invest in a whole bunch of tarot literature. Some of the books in some of the decks are so well done and so extensively done that, you know, that might be just your only source of information. And also the internet's got a lot of information about tarot, so that's how you build up your tarot knowledge. So this is a very, very beautiful deck, and I highly recommend it. It did take me a while to buy it, and now that I've bought it, I think it's beautifully done, and you know, I'm sure I'll get a lot of wear out of the deck itself. So I hope that you've enjoyed this review, and like I said, I'll put the links in the description box so that you can get a hold of it, and look out for price reductions on the deck itself, because I'm sure around this time they do reduce prices of the deck. So, but even if it isn't on a reduced price, it is quite reasonable and you know, quite affordable. It's not going to break the bank itself. And it's so nicely boxed, and you know, it's got such beautiful artwork on it, and it's going to give your tarot reading just that little extra, you know. And it's also a deck, because it's got such, you know, the pictures are so different. It opens your mind and opens your intuition, so it allows you to start, you know, it uses your imagination, and that's how you access your intuition. So it really is a book that a deck that is you know, fires the imagination and fires the intuition, and you will get some good readings from it, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed this deck review. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments if these messages have resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.